This is a blank video, voice, artery on my right side of my leg, my right body yesterday, so I'm having to do this laying in bed, struggling with my health, so bear with me. It is now 9 weeks of hell again. Nothing unusual for thousands of others, United Kingdom, by the cruel, deliberate delay of treatment, vulnerable, all walks of life, but when you've got complexity, joint disabilities, and the cutbacks is hurting so many people in my situation. And I'm cleared up on what I know, and then I get another bloody injury, but I can't do nothing about it because of cutbacks. Stuff bloody trees on me, and they're loads of croonies, I call them, because they have no clue what ordinary people are going through. And my mum died, yeah, and it's still struggling with that. There's no help. You have to wait 6 months before you even get over. I think it's don't know what they call it now, cruise. Excuse me, a charity or something. How the hell do I get out to those places? I can't get out about. I tried yesterday with reduced health I've ever had for a long time, physical health. And the weather doesn't help, does it, with the coldness? And I didn't even get help in a local store I had gone through because of the time I had to try and get, because I was in bed ill all day. And the entire my friends could try and get me up my wheelchair. I was late in the evening. Well, to me it's late. I'd rather stayed in, but when you run out of electric, you got to go and top up your bloody get electric, mate. I'll tell you that now. Well, anyway, luckily that's done. So it's one thing after another, and I'll try and deal with one thing at a time. You can only do that. Best. Well, today I can't even do anything. So anyway, it's just one of those things where it's easy to get psychologically and emotional upset. It's not going to do your health any good, is it? So it's trying to know about remedies and meditation and what oils, essential oils, can heal the body and herbal teas with pain. Oh, it just was frustrating. Anyway, a computerized decision. Yeah, not a human individual anymore. It's all AI computerized decision makes to stop my GLA. When I was going through all this complicated months of trying to get the right home visit, eventually they sorted that out, but they got the wrong time. They did in the morning. Well, hold on, I've done a video about that. And your medication side effects, you're not awake at 9 o'clock in the bloody morning. You're lucky if I couldn't do anything before bloody 12 o'clock. So all this, anybody just knows when you're in agony, you don't get a good night's sleep, do you? Let alone the medication on the side effects of all that. And when you go through all this extreme private medical, I mean, this is so extremely sensitive document I had to send off. Just added extra medical evidence. Well, they don't want to look at that, do they? This is like, where do you find the extra funds to record a post? So all this was sent off twice, by the way, twice. So Clacton House is the head office in London. Department of Works and Pensions is called, United Kingdom. Right, no longer can do any typing. It's another downside of when you get ill, in the sense of on a laptop, printing up and stuff. And I don't have the extra help for that. And when I tried to get, before Christmas period came, 2018, now it's New Year, 2019, second week of the year, I still don't have offer reasonable adjustments to home visit by Citizens Advice in my area, employee, female. And they're trying to get out of it using this adult safeguarding, right? Well, I wondered how many people out there is getting this plug off for any support. See, all this, what I used to do myself, and when you become really unwell, you're genuine, like, not trying to, like, pitch anyone against each other, which, as we know, when we're genuine, right? You know in your hearts of hearts. And you know the system's bloody corrupt, and how people get away. It's just like a bloody postcode lottery, in my opinion. Sometimes you feel targeted. Well, I don't know anywhere else, but I do. And all those people where I live now, right, in UK, are all able-bodied people, and only a few of them are retired, and not them have to work early. So good luck to them, right? But why should I be singled out and targeted? That's on top of struggling with the DWP. Now, not just that, is it, we struggle with? You're struggling with the NHS. You're struggling with everything to do with disabilities, right? Trying to get anything. It's like trying to get blood up a bloody stone, my late mum would say. Trying to rub the bloody stone, or rub it like my late mum also would say about a genie. You're trying to rub a genie out of that magic lantern and trying to create a magic solution. Well, that's a bloody joke, unless you've got a crystal ball. But seriously though, where's the heart gone? Where's the decentness gone? Where's humanity gone? It's all been dissolved in front of my eyes. And it's painful. It's painful to sense that. And it's not just me sensing that. I've been awakened to many subjects I knew what to do a long, long, long time ago, before I got worse in my health last year. And again, to date. And I know what my reality is going to be like this year. I'm not afraid. I just know it's going to be difficult to adjust. You don't get, well, there's others worse off than I. And when you see very good people that try to, able-bodied people trying to raise awareness nationally, and you observe what they're doing, but there's usually an agenda behind it. But meanwhile, you know, like with the yellow jackets and all what they're trying to do, people wearing these yellow jacket protests and stuff. But then you got really well known for years, or all sorts of people are trying to do the best, aren't they? You know, to try and make things lawfully easier to access, but it is not happening because of the red tape, because of the digital age, because everything's online, and it's not just one subject, is it? With like departments and pensions, it's like all your medical evidence, right? What the hell? What more do they need? You know. And you hear so other ordinary men and women, their loved ones and family members going through with just as much or worse, you know. And it's been going on for too long. I've been raised all these years, as now I've got older, to make do what I got, and I do. I'd never ever expected to get ill, or get, you know, wheelchair dependent, and I just get on with it. But then I didn't expect, as you get older, the body in itself, unfortunately, unless you have constant bloody blood tests, constant bloody tests, it's not much. I was told this years ago, there's not much they could do for me, because I've got deterioration in my spine from when I got run over and hit the road. And they won't operate my right shoulder, where when I hit the road, and they can't do anything with a brain injury, because obviously, what gets me, right, these men and women are in the job role, right, meant to assess people. They've got no bloody clue. You know, they look at the computer screens, tick box exercise. I don't put in a bloody tick box, thank you. And that's frustrating, because I had the same experience all year, last year, trying to get the right adult healthcare. And with all the pathways, all the link-up services now, it's absolutely a nightmare. And prevention, they're just preventing me, deliberately. All the cutbacks, my area is the first United Kingdom to go in that side. And I didn't even know. When I was in hospital, I asked for help because my private friends struggle a hell of a lot more. And the only way they're going to help anyone like me is a Section 42 of Statutory Law of the Care Act 2014. And that's using their safeguarding. I know all about that now. You don't ever want to go down that avenue. Don't ever consent unless, God forbid, you end up in a dire straits situation. And then they have a duty of care. And even though they have these public services employees have duty of care, it's those at the top. It's not all your frontline staff. It's those CAs, board of directors on all these so-called public bodied funded services are the ones preventing services, preventing ordinary people to access what they need to have a quality of life in the limitations they have just to exist. Yeah. And I've learned that over the years. So you think, oh, where's your family? Where's your friends? Well, if you don't have them, what then? So I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm trying to just say it as it is because there's so many others out there that can't speak. You know, they've got types of disabilities, they just don't have it. But I know pathways into services, I know about it. But these public servants, civil servants in their job role, you have people at the front line preventing ordinary people trying to access what they need. I've got 6 months. I know I've got a right to go private, but you need the energy to go and push whatever you need. You still need your energy to keep going. So when you get injured, it sets you back. You need to find another part of your mind, body, and soul energy to try and push onward. And I tell you, it's a tall order. So the PIP, personal independence, has got nowhere. I did not fail to attend anything. I was bedbound. Nobody here. Not able to do any calls or nothing. The former social worker did all that, assistance. Then she lost her job. Then I was offered in November, by the end of November last year, a new one. She didn't only had a little bit of training and no clue what she's doing. Talk about a meeting offering 2 days' notice, no clue about how I was going to get there, how I was going to cope. And then I found out no advocate, care advocate showed. And that set up my other disabilities big time. It was just deliberately done. Traumatising me, targeting me, deliberate. So the email my mate did for me was seek clarification, what the hell's going on, blah blah blah, usual, and get back to one before they close Christmas New Year. Well, did they? No. A reminder email went off with a document. I'm too ill to do that today. It's going to have to be done at some point tomorrow. I hope and pray that my physical body will be stabilised by then. And a reminder email set my terms and conditions offer all goods and services now. Now's the time to fight. Not physically, but lawfully and honourably. Damn well I'm going to let the likes of these bloody puppet servants dictate to me and prevent me what I'm lawfully. We all have a lawful right to in a similar situation. All their bloody tip box. We're all made of flesh and blood. Well, we don't get asked to get ill, do we? And when we do, my late mum, bless her heart, always taught me to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. So when I've had repeated accidents that's what's losing my right side of my body now. And I know physically where I need to be. But to get from where I am in a scenario with all the support I need, it's a high cost. It is like they deal with like the cheaper options first, the cheaper cases, and then prevent anyone high complex needs what they need. Unless, it's unless. But the words and all these documents and all this, oh, You wouldn't believe how much investigation I've done over the years, but boiled it all down to very basic, simple things. It's all prevention of ordinary people getting what they need. And before I become unwell, I used to speak up for, before I become even disabled individual, I always used to speak up for those that didn't know their rights, because I used to have all that training from years ago. And I'd hope, at least by the end of last year, something like a care plan would be in place that was going to be used for the DWP additional evidence again. All last year was meant to be that. So I found another pathway to get in, to get NHS continuing healthcare funding, and the checklist is out through NHS England funded medical GP. Oh, it doesn't matter what information you send. It's all about. I've always had this saying: if I had my health, do you think I'll still be in this situation? Nope. I'll be doing any kind of job, anything, just so I won't be relying on any state system for anything, you know. But I'm not physically in that position. And then when you have, as I said previously, you have a serious temperature in life, and the trauma related all your life, you know, for a long time, is still there. It's stabilised, but it's still there. And then you get perhaps re traumatised on something else happens in your life. And so you'll be extremely careful on the side effects of medications. And then one good legacy my late mum left me is always to try. Luckily, don't know, it's not healthy, but I can't just get to a bloody food bank. I mean, how many people has got anybody and you're wheelchair dependent has got accessible food bank? Let alone know about the system, how to deal with that. You see, you cut off the DLA. I can't afford my extra costs, my disabilities. And disability needs, I've got the extra costs, the extra electric, the extra costs I need for, you know, they didn't pay me the right DLA years ago anyway. But I'd hope with a paper base assessment, PIP assessment, which I was informed might get. But no, all this, I've got all this paperwork, well, by emails at least, all these emails saying what's meant to be offered to me, what's meant to be helped by this former social worker in a department she works for. And then she was made all these calls to Capita, this is a limited company who the DWP contracts, and they're all the call centres from the UK. That's what they are, and they're computerised systems. So they didn't even scan the medical information into their computer systems. That's why they deliberately sent somebody around at 9:15 in the morning, bedbound, and then that individual went on a computer and transferred onto DWP software computer system that I failed to attend my medical and stop my claim, the PIC claim. And then the IT computer letter came, it's dated 5th of November 2018, not signed. They went on that assessor's decision of Capita rather than the factual evidence. If they checked their bloody records, computer systems, and my evidence. So as I said, my mate sent R twice to review that decision because it said you do that first before the mandatory reconsideration. It's now 9 weeks. Not one response to that requirement. And that's gone at Wolverhampton office in the United Kingdom, UK. Key individual that were before, and also head office in Clapton House, CA. Yeah, look it up in Company's House. Well, I've got original printout from years ago. Department of Works and Pensions Limited. No joke, is it? So yeah, subcontract out all public services at the expense of the public purse, expense of the public, trying to, even those that are working, try and pay their way. And even those are forced into other type of benefit systems. So yeah, don't get me started on the universal credit that's going to hit. And I pray for all those out there, even though you might not have a particular religion. My thoughts are with others, a similar situation. One thing at a time, eh? It's a tall order, and it is deliberate. It really is deliberate. Don't even think, with all this distraction about the UK Brexit, don't think it's going to hit the disabled people and people affected or trying to get access to what they need. And say all those people that's paid in the system for years, NHS or for a pension system, the financial system is so fragile. Yes, everything's commercialised and everything's out for sale. Our data's out for sale. You know, it shouldn't be the way things are going. Gosh forbid, little by little, whatever you can try and achieve. It's a big thing, the tiny things you can achieve. And you only know too well when you... Sorry, my alarm. You only know too well. So it's now Wednesday, the 9th of the 1st, 2008. Sorry, 19. Can't get used to the word 19. Yeah. 3:15 in the afternoon. And I'm absolutely injured and laying in bed. There's no point calling my medical practice GP because they're only going to call out the ambulance. They no longer do home visits. And when you struggle, you've got, for example, it's not just one thing when you've got ill health, there's other things happening all at once. So you just think you'd like a care plan to like one service could do that and all linked up, you know, and you know what you're doing, who's meant to be offered such and such. Has that happened yet? No. As I said, that was meant to be offered. So this is a national breach of duty of care by my area public sector services employees, and then this is an add-on effect on, of course, a delay and lack of response by DWP. Public civil servants breach of their duty of care as well. So yes, even think you're going to use an email. Yeah, good luck on that one. I tried that before. Don't respond. And that's even with a Capita PLC software company. By the way, be a warning there. Capita PLC has a contract with NHS England Limited with your medical data. That's why there's another 6 months delay still to access my own personal medical data. Gone through the general medical, well, in my area, medical practice, data controller. They know full well who controls our data on their system. NHS England contracted, again, Capita PLC. Well, in short, in UK, is known as Capita Business Services Limited, head office in London. Yeah, so 2 contracts sourced out, outsourced privately by 2 public companies. So NHS England Limited, public funded, Department of Works Limited, public funded, to private corporation yet again. So no wonder I've not got no response. Well, one hasn't. We'll get there, one thing at a time. So at the moment, yeah, I'm surviving on just basic, very basic. But luckily my mum gave me that training and knowledge and legacy left behind. And yeah, it's not very good just to feel like you're like completely targeted just because you're disability. So no, it's not actually like direct, but it just feels that way. I don't know anybody else feels like that, but it's not your fault though. It's nobody's fault that we end up in our situations. It's just circumstances, unfortunately, in life. And it's just to take one thing at a time. the idea is like to get you psychologically so upset and just worried all the time, and that will not help your health. I know that firsthand. It's not easy to remember that, by the way, but when you can, just keep safe. For anybody else out there going through what I'm going through, share your experiences. Who knows what's going to happen? Trial and error. God bless. Sign out UK.